Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. This morning I've come up to the Obed Wild and Scenic River area in Morgan County, Tennessee to do some waterfall photography. There's two waterfalls up here we're going to visit, and I'm going to bring you along and show you where they're at and what they look like. We had a lot of rain, as a matter of fact, and I'm up here at the Lily Bridge. And I want to show you, I've showed you this before in a previous video, which I will link in the description below on a New Year's Day visit. This here is Clear Creek. Now they call this area the Obed Wild and Scenic River Natural Area, or National Park, I think. Anyways, this is a lot of water. It's all the way out the bank on that side. It's roared pretty good. We're looking upstream here, and I'm going to take you over to this side and show you the downstream side, and you can just see the flow. Now people come up here and kayak a lot, but I doubt there'll be any kayakers today, but there might be some. Anyways, I'm gonna go get my gear out of the car, and it's been a long time since I've been out hiking on a waterfall. I bet it's been over a year. And I was sitting at the house last night listening to it rain all day yesterday. I thought, you know what, I need to get back outside. So that's just what I did. I packed up my gear this morning and left the house. I didn't leave too early though, and it's about 9 o'clock right now. So I'm gonna get my backpack out and we'll get ready to go. There's really not a trail down to these waterfalls per se. The park rangers here call them social trails that people have made. You just kind of make your way up through the rocks here, find a foothold. Here's some more of the water flow. Pretty today. I'd say it's quite a bit of water that we've had. Probably more than 1.5 inches. I'd say it's more like 2 or 3 inches probably. Now normally I would cross right here, but today it's a little too deep to see the rocks, the stones that you have to step over to get over to the waterfall. So I'm not going to be able to cross over and get to the bottom of the waterfall today. As you can see, there's quite a bit of flow coming off this upper falls. There are some challenges today, several really. One is the amount of flow, quite a bit of flow, more than I like to see. And another challenge is the mist and the wind, the breeze coming off of the waterfall over there. It could affect the front of my lens. And the third thing is this water is kind of murky. So We'll probably have to fix the water problem in software and post-processing. The other stuff I got to deal with in the field. So I'm going to get set up here with the Nikon Z6ii and the 14-30. We're going to start with that one. What I normally do when I'm in a situation like this with a lot of mist, I turn my camera lens around away from it and get everything ready. So we're going to put the circular polarizer on here first. I don't think we're going to need any ND filters today. Circular polarizer. We're using the Case Wolverine filter. Get my blower here to blow this filter off. Got some dust on it. Probably going to need this blower today with all this mist. I'll just keep it handy right here in the box. These are magnetic, so they go on real easy. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera on. Okay, now right away I notice my white balance is off, so I need to check that in the camera. Well, it's set for cloudy. That's okay, I'm alright with that. I'm going to set it for auto natural light. And I'm going to get my composition here. Level the camera up. And it really wants to be about a half a second. So I'm going to focus in the middle. Just take one shot here. Well, I started off with my first mistake. I had the camera set up for bracketing. So I'm going to turn that off real quick to get my composition right. And we're probably going to use that. I'm underexposing about 2/3 of a stop. I'm going to go ahead and do a bracketed shot. Try that out. 3 shots at 2 stops. Set my 2-second timer. When I get back home in the video, I'll show you how I set my Z6ii up to do bracketed shots automatically. Yeah, I think I'm going to try a different lens. I got my 24 to 120 with me today. I just got it with the Z8. So I'm going to put that on the Z6ii and try it. So the 24 to 120 has a 77mm filter thread versus an 82mm on the 14 to 30. So I had to put a different circular polarizer on the front. I'm using a Tiffin Digital HT. So I got this lens set at 28mm. I could have shot that with the 14 to 30, but I really wanted to try this lens out. So I'm going to do a vertical shot with this 24 to 120. And get it turned around. I use a Kirk Enterprise L bracket, so it's real easy to switch it over real quick to vertical. And adjust the camera just a little bit. I'm going to go out to 35mm. And the polarizer, turn it. Again, we're focusing about midway into the scene. This will be a 3-shot bracket. Well, that's not too bad, really. There's just a little bit too much water for me today down here. So what I'm going to do is go back to the car, drive around to the upper parking lot and hike down the trail and go to the top of this waterfall and see what's up there to shoot today. So stay tuned for some more. Not everything about waterfall photography is about big water. I'm going to show you a composition I'm working on now that has nothing to do with all this water right here. There's just too much here. I'll show you some photographs of that in the video, but the flow's too much. There's too much white in there. It's hard to tame that down and make it look any good. It'd be better to come back in a few days when the water has dropped a little bit. So what I'm talking about is, when you come to a waterfall, don't just go after the big falls like everybody else is taking. Look around for some little compositions, like this one right here. Now I'm going to do some photographs right here, but I'm going to have to do a little finagling. There's a rhododendron branch that comes down in front of my camera. Well, I'm going to have to pull that back while I take the photograph. So what I'm going to do, we're going to set it up for a bracketing, 3-shot bracket, 2 stops over and under. And I'm going to set my self timer for 3 shots. And just like I showed you a while ago in the video how to do that. And then I'm going to set it for 20 seconds instead of 2 seconds. That'll give me time to pull that branch back and try to get a photograph. So that's what we're going to do right now. So what I got right here, I'm going to show you in the back of my camera if you can see it. Might be a little hard to see the reflection. I'm going to go into the eye menu and see if it'll focus. That's not going to focus. Anyways, I'm going to make a change here on my self timer. I don't know if you can see it or not. And I'm going to go in here and change it to 20 seconds. It's set up for 3 shots automatically. So all I got to do now is hit the shutter button and pull the branches back. Alright, I'm ready to take the photograph. And I'm tripping the shutter right now. And I'm going to pull these branches back up over here. Out of the way. Ooh, that rock is slick. Almost fell. Now I can see the screen on the back of the camera from here, so I can tell when it's taking the photographs. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So now we're going to review that in the back of the camera so you can see that, what my HDR shot looked like in this video. And then I'm going to process those photographs and show you what a little composition looks like. Like I said, you don't have to go after the big white water. Anyways, I kind of like this. It's pretty neat looking. So I wanted to show that to you. I hope you stuck around long enough in the video to view this. Well, I believe I'm going to pack up and get ready to head back to the car. I'm glad y'all came along today with me. And this goes to show you that you never know what you might find when you start poking around out here around these waterfalls and stuff. This whole area up here is full of rock houses, bluffs, big, huge boulders just sitting out in the middle of nowhere. And you ask yourself, how did that stuff get out here? Well, there is an explanation for that. Some of these big old rocks, like this one right here, I'm going to show it to you. Bigger. This is bigger than a house. Anyways, there's a trail here called the Boulder Trail. And the story is, on the storyboard down there, and you can dispute this in the comments if you want to, but I'm going by what the National Park Service said. A million years ago, the state of Tennessee, 80% of it was underwater. Now, under the seas, these rocks would have been buoyant and they would have moved around in the undersea currents. When the seas receded, the oceans receded, where they were is where they are now. And you look around, you see these big old boulders out in the middle of the woods somewhere, and you ain't got a clue how they got there. There's nothing above it where it could have fell off of a bluff or anything. So I believe that explanation. This here is a shortcut trail between the bridge trail and the point trail. We're going over to the point trail. Man, look at this right here. Isn't this beautiful? All you gotta do is get out of the house and come out here and see all this stuff. Just like that right there. So listen, thanks for coming along today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you got some use out of it, give me a thumbs up, would you please, a like. And if you want to keep up with other videos that I do, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's free, doesn't cost a thing to do that. Again, my name is Ron Durant. I'm a photographer in East Tennessee. Y'all have a nice day now. Bye-bye.